So I'm going to scroll through this quickly. If you remember, we talked about SEO, search engine optimization, and we got through off-site SEO and some strategies that you can use, right, to help create a better off-site SEO strategy. So we're looking at metadata, website usability, content, the links that come in and out. That all helps with your ranking on SEO, which is important. You need to have that, right, both the internal and the external links. And at the end of the day, the SEO strategy, a good SEO strategy, starts with content, right? You have to have those keywords and that informative content, which is really important. You have to have usability on the website, the landing pages, whatever you're using to create that sales funnel. And then, of course, you have to have that metadata copy and use best practices, making sure you have the title tags and information and description inside of all that. So when Google sees it, they know exactly what that page is all about. And then you have the linking, the external and internal links. That all helps. And the reason why you're doing this is because, look, when somebody needs something, they would search, right? They go right into Mr. Google machine and they put in, please solve my problem. Most consumers today are doing that through their cell phone, and then they move it from devices. They might start on the cell phone and go to desktop. They might start at the desktop and go to cell phone, although more traffic and more activity right now is happening from your device, your cell phone in most cases. And then they go ahead and we start this consumer engagement funnel. Remember, we talked briefly about that. We're bringing them through this consumer engagement funnel. The first thing is to get them aware, then create that desire and get them to convert. And then after they convert, we want them to repeat the purchase so that we have retention. And then after retention, we want them to really fall in love with our brand. And then once they fall in love with our brand, they become our brand advocates or brand champions, which is great. And at the end of the day, that's how we build our business. So this all ties in together, okay? So one thing to keep in mind is there's different types of search traffic that comes in. We talked about unpaid search traffic, which is maybe a common search term, and we'll cover keywords and search terms separately because that is an important part of this strategy. We also have less popular terms, keyword terms. So there's something called the long tail and the short tail of keywords, meaning the short tail is all the keywords that people are using on a regular basis. So that's a big section of words, but it only represents about 20-25% of all the possible keyword scenarios. That long tail has less traffic, has less searches, but they're more context driven, so you actually be able to convert those faster than that short tail. Then of course there's paid search, which we'll talk more about, right? Pay per click opportunity, and there's a price to get that keyword, and we'll show you that, and we'll explain some time to talk about that as well. And all of that ties into the key objectives that you have to set up in your website. Now, every website is different. Most websites today are e-commerce transactional type sites. So you're selling a product, goods, services, something of that nature. So you're creating some type of transaction. Right now, I'm doing online courses, and there's ways that you can sell digital goods and songs and videos and all kinds of different things online, which is phenomenal. And that's your objective. At the end of the day, your objective is to create sales, right? To create revenue. And you build your strategy to do that. And that ties into all the SEO keywords and optimization practices. Now, a website could have other objectives. Maybe websites advertise. Maybe there's affiliate commission type driven websites. Now, there's subscription-based websites, right? Think of Netflix and Hulu and the Disney Channel and things of that nature. You can get subscriptions, language courses. So there's a lot of subscription type websites, Charmbox and all kinds of these products boxes that you can get on subscription, which, by the way, subscription services online is one of the fastest growing e-commerce strategies today. I think it's got like a 20-something% month after month growth rate. It's really phenomenal. And then, of course, in addition to that, you could have just static websites or informational websites that support the offline sales. Maybe it's a brand site where you don't actually buy something online, but it informs and persuades the users to go to an offline, a brick and mortar type location, or to get a service that way. There's also cause related, right? Donation types, customer support. So websites and even landing pages, all of them can serve a purpose, but you have to have an objective, because as you build your strategy, as you build your SEO strategy and your optimization strategy, you have to figure out what is that website going to do, and what do I want my website to do for me, and who is my target audience. There's a couple of things that you have to think through as you get this website up and running before you even talk about the SEO strategy. The first thing you need have a clear understanding in your mind is what are you selling? What product or service are you offering? How are you different? How do you differentiate yourself from the others? And then who's your target audience? Who are you trying to get this product to? That's important, okay? So when you have the objective set in the website, then you can start putting together your strategy and start creating an idea of what you want to do. Okay, so let's talk about the next big thing, which is conversion, because conversions are what we try to get, right? And that's how, if we spend $1, we want to get conversions. That's that return on investment, that conversion rate. So depending upon what type of website you set up, you have primary conversions, and then you could have secondary conversions. So what does that look like? So let's say you're an e-commerce site. Obviously, if you're an e-commerce site, the goal of your website is to sell product, right? To convert. So that could be your first primary conversion. Your secondary conversion could be maybe creating an account. If you create an account but you don't buy something, I still converted you because now I have you in my funnel. Maybe you signed up for emails, or maybe I upsold you and you paid for a premium account. So there are different ways that you can take your consumer through that sales funnel and get them to convert. Let's say you had a website that you needed to generate leads, and the goal was to get a lead, a phone number, an address, or something like that. If you were a roofing company or a window company or a pressure washer company, your goal is to get a lead. And then maybe if you don't get that primary conversion, your second goal would be, well, if I can't get the exact lead, let's get them to opt in to our email list. So now I could at least start to market to them. So there are some secondary conversions that you can set up and have in mind when you set up your objective of a website. And this is all important because you can't really structure your SEO and your optimization, and you can't create ads if you don't know what your objectives are. So the first thing we need to do is understand our objectives and understand what our conversions are as well.